To the surprise of a decent amount of people, we're getting a special chapter, although I think we all thought it was going to be a Sojo's bathhouse. And it's not, it's Soya Sazanami's memories be gone. Which is presumably because I'm assuming we're at the end of a volume basically, and there was like a little bit left, and we're like, well, we don't want to undercut the part one thing with something else, so we're just going to have a fun little chapter to end things off and prepare us for the next arc. And admittedly, this is a pretty funny chapter, but also it did subvert my expectations because it seems like it's like, oh, his memories are gone. And you're like, is he going to become good? That'd be kind of weird considering he was kind of a freak. And like the way the chapter brings it about, and you're like, okay, he's piecing it together, but is there going to be some change? And then it's like, no, he's just a sick freak still. A real great just subversion, but then be like, yeah, that's how it should be. Let's not try to make this guy a good guy instead, and just let him be a freak who needs to beat up weak things. But I think it's just a well-crafted little side story. Especially the bit where he's like, you can see him piece together that he loves Hakuri, but not in the way that a normal human being does, where he's like, this person means everything to me. But then you're like, well, the story happened, sir. The fortune teller bit was great. A good, just fantastic, where she's just plainly like insane. And we're like, yes, scary fortune teller lady, you're so real for that one. Just losing her mind, and he's like, bro, you are crazy. Basically explicitly saying the like entirety of his fight, where it's just like, yeah, you call that love, bro? That is just violence. You are a sick freak. And his just blank expression to it is very funny, where he's just like, what? Excuse me? And then he just beats himself out and he goes, I do love killing people. They were weak. But it's so pathetic too, which is really good for him. It's good at keeping it in line with his characterization, because it is just a guy who's been defeated who comes back and is just thoroughly pathetic, where he's like gonna rip apart a pigeon, and it's like, really, bro, you're doing that? Come on, man. And then he just falls. The end. That's it. And it's like, yep, good job, team. But what this presumably means is that next week will be the beginning of part 2. And I guess maybe Soya will be in it in some capacity, but I kind of would just prefer it to be like the Sojo's bathhouse, and we just kind of don't touch on that for a bit, but also I think we will. It opens up the door for Not Quite Dead. Although Sojo's was more in the midst of his arc and not directly after, because this one is basically like 30 seconds after the battle had ended, or after he got out of the rubble. He's like, this is who I am alive. And it's like, oh, okay, I guess bro's back. Do I think he'll be relevant for a while? Probably not. The one saving grace is he doesn't remember Hakuri's face, he remembers his hair. So we just need the time skip in for Hakuri to change his hair and we'll be fine. But my expectations for next week is either A, time skip, which I think it is the safest one because it seems like the point for a time skip where if you're gonna do it, but I also could see it not being a time skip, and I'm really open to either way. I'm glad we got a little buffer one for it all. Ideally, you give him a week off, in my opinion, just to let him chill and relax as you hit the big story point and be like, okay, buddy, enjoy this little detour. But if it's going to be a silly chapter instead, I'll take it. More Kagurabachi is more Kagurabachi. Ultimately, I'm not complaining. But that's a pretty chill chapter. I was kind of sitting down here getting ready to be like, man, part 2, guys. Let's take a deep dive into this beginning. And then I saw the EX next to it and I went, we're going to the bathhouse. And then unfortunately, we're not going to the bathhouse. But what we got was a decent replacement. Maybe one day we'll return to the bathhouse though.